Good afternoon. My name is Latanya Smalls, and I am a student at the Interdenominational Theological Center under the Turner Theological Seminary. The title of my project is Women Who Don't Quit. What do you think about when you hear the title, Women Who Don't Quit? This project encompasses my personal testimony as a single mother, how I was able to rise above challenges to raise and provide for my children. This project allowed me to do Sankofa. I was able to look back and glean knowledge of past ancestral and personal stories, bring it to the present, and use them as a guidepost for our sessions. My desire for this project is to encourage single mothers to keep pressing for greater despite the difficulties that they may face in their attempts to raise and provide for their families. An oral survey revealed that the participants in my group were experiencing issues which included finances, unforgiveness, sickness, depression, loneliness, daily struggles, and worry. The intent of this project is to transform the minds of single women, allowing them to see themselves as women of worth who don't quit. My goals for this project is to inspire, encourage, and empower single parent mothers through testimony, prayers, scripture, fellowship, and pastoral support. My purpose for this group is to provide an outlet for release, a support system for the women. The theological underpinnings come from the first chapter of Ruth, viewing the story through Naomi's lenses, and from Jeremiah 29 and 11. Through the first chapter of Ruth, the participants are able to witness the many struggles that Naomi endured from being a wife and a mother to becoming a widow with 2 daughters-in-law and no children. The participants are able to see that although Naomi felt that she had been dealt a bad hand, she never gave up, she never quit, but instead she found strength in God. Jeremiah 29:11 reminds the participants that no matter how bad things may appear or become, God's plan for them is to prosper, have hope, and a future, and not to harm them. There has been a constant increase of single mothers, especially among the African American community. Statistics show that in Charleston County, South Carolina, where my group is being hosted, African Americans top the chart in unwed birth rates. That we rank number 2 as a county on average, with unwed births being below the poverty level. These alarming provided an urgency for me to develop this women's group. In order to get the word out to the community, flyers were created and shared via social media, sent to churches in the surrounding community, and posted on signs throughout the community. Each session opened with devotion, which included a song and a prayer, followed by introductions. The sessions were held and ended with prayer, fellowship, and light refreshments. Session 1 was entitled, Once a Quitter, Always a Quitter. The intent of this session was to encourage the participants to become women on whom God could rely. They were reminded of 1 Peter 5 and 8 and Romans 5:3 through 4. They were reminded that they are to be sober, vigilant, because the adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. However, Romans 5:3-4 assured them that it's okay to rejoice during times of affliction because affliction produces endurance, proven character, and hope. The next slide will reveal a reflection of this first session from one of the participants.
What I got from the first session was to never quit when things get hard. What I've learned from being a single parent is as you go through your life, things get hard, kids, work, finances, after school, everything. It comes a time when it all comes together that you just feel like you want to stop, you want to quit because you may not have everything you need at the time to get everything done. But I've learned from these group of women that no matter how bad things may seem, it'll always get better. You just keep press forward, keep moving forward, and things will get better as you progress. I just learned to never give up, never quit. Thank you.
Session 2 was entitled When Hunger Strikes. This lesson was based upon the famine that Naomi and her family faced in Bethlehem, Judea. We were able to take a trip in history to the times of slavery and the Great Depression to see what measures those who came before us had to take during difficult times. Some of those measures included the consumption of wild plants and animals and the rationing of food. The intent of this session was to inform the participants that desperate times often calls for desperate measures. But we are to be reminded of Romans, the 8th chapter, the 13th verse. The next slide will reveal the gist of this scripture from one of the participants.
In today's lesson, they talked about when hunger strikes. In today's lesson, I learned that we live by the Spirit and not by the flesh.
Lesson 3 was entitled Temporary Temptations. This lesson reiterated 1 Peter 5:8, which reads, "Be serious, be alert. Your adversary, the devil, is prowling around like a lion, looking for anyone he can devour." This lesson was based upon the move that Elimelech, Naomi, and their family made from Bethlehem, Judea to Moab as a result of the famine that they faced in Bethlehem. The move was supposed to be a temporary fix to that problem. However, the move became a permanent fix for Elimelech and their two sons. In this group session, the ladies and we discussed different decisions that we have made in our lifetime that was supposed to be temporary but ended up with permanent effects. We discussed how we could overcome different things that we have endured, and we also discussed how we could learn to live with some of the things that we cannot change. Session 4 was entitled 2 Weddings and 3 Funerals. It highlighted Naomi's losses, which included her husband and 2 sons. It also revealed her gains, which included her daughters-in-law. In this lesson, we focused upon what our ancestors endured as slaves, how their families were ripped apart, sold, and killed. We discussed ways wherein they were able to gain strength despite their losses, keep the faith, and not give up. The next slide contains a reflection from this section.
Alright, one of the sessions that I attended was the 2 weddings and 3 funerals where the wife had lost her son and her husband and her 2 sons. I pretty much learned from this session that no matter what God takes from you, He will always restore you with better to help strengthen you. Although she lost her 2 sons and her husband, she also gained 2 daughter-in-laws, which was her strength that she needed to keep pressing on.
Session 5 was entitled Desperate Departures. This was our concluding session for our group. In this session, we highlighted Ruth's decision to return to Bethlehem, Judea. In this session, we also discuss times in our lives when we have made desperate departures, whether it be from a relationship, from a job, etc. This lesson actually concluded with a strategy to keep with us so that we won't quit. The Q stood for questions we may need to ask and answer. The U stood for understanding the word. I helps to remind us that we are to continue to walk into the promise. And T lets us know that we may have to turn something around. Our closeout ceremony was conducted by Dr. Celeste G. Shepherd. She's the pastor of Seedtime Harvest. She's also a mentor and a women's ministry coordinator. She showed us in our closeout ceremony God's image for us. She took the word image and broke it down into the different letters, showing us how each letter related us to God. The next slide will show a snippet of her session with us.
Created them really in the image. An image is a reflection of what we see on the outside. But when he said he created us in his image, and just like him, praise be unto God, is the Father, Son, and what? Holy Spirit. And then we're man, but we're spirit, we're body, and we're soul. So we've been created in his image and his likeness. But because of the fall, and you will see that in Genesis 3 and 7, when the man and the woman, they ate off that tree, and some people say it was an apple tree. I really don't know what kind of tree it was, but it says that they took fig leaves and they sewed it together. Amen. And so once they ate off the tree, that image that they bore in the beginning, it was done away with. And so after that, you saw broken homes. You saw broken people. People really lost their identity. They have a marred image of themselves. And then in the way we live in now, you know, with social media and all things going on, and we've had instances where I saw where little girls were posting pictures of themselves, and somebody said that they were ugly, whatever. And because that person said, because they didn't have a good self-image of themselves, one little girl was on Steve Harvey. I saw her and her mom. Well, not her, but her mom. That little girl went home and she hung herself. Because of what somebody else thought about her. And that's when she looked in the mirror, it reflected it was a bad self-image. And so we want to return, we want to boost your image today of self-image and what you think about yourself. Okay? So I spelled out the word image. Somebody said image. Image. And there's another thing that the Lord told me about.
Several resources were used for this program. To help with the development, I implored Women of the Bible and A Woman Who Doesn't Quit. To help with the sessions, as a reflection or as a source to reflect upon in order to help women with their issues, I reflected on pastoral feminist and womanist pastoral theology, essentials of ministry, and the dictionary of pastoral care and counseling. Additional resources included several community members that supported me in this group, and a host of classes that I took during my tenure at the ITC. To start with our community members, Latrice Smalls, who is a licensed Christian counselor, is a member of my church, and she happens to be my sister. She attended all of the sessions with me just to make sure if something arose that I could not deal with, she would be able to help me in that manner. Regina Mack is a pastor of one of the churches in the community, Agape Ministry. She was there as well to provide her support and anything that she could do to help the women in the group. And of course, Dr. Celeste Shepherd is a pastor, mentor, and a women's ministry coordinator, and she came out to host our final closeout ceremony. Although I was able to glean knowledge from a host of classes that I took throughout my tenure at the ITC, the ones that stood out the most for me with this project were pastoral theology and the biblical text, sociology of religion, foundations in ministry, black women in ministry, and psychology of religion. Those classes together allowed me to delve deeper into the psychological issues that the women faced or that I have faced myself, and it helped me to actually talk more about different issues and how to resolve them.
Good morning. I'm the Reverend James Eric Nelson, the pastor of Greater New Bethlehem AME Church here at Greater New Bethlehem AME Church. I am the facilitator here. The Reverend Latanya Sherrill Smalls put together a woman group for single parent woman. Done a marvelous job. It was every Saturday. Great amount of ladies, single parents that was here. I think she's going in the right direction, doing a great job, grading the ministry, and I think she would do well. Bless you.
I, Latanya Smalls, have truly enjoyed my Capstone project, Women Who Don't Quit. I was able to form bonds with a group of women and help them to work through some of the problems that they face as single parents. Although the project has come to an end for this class, the group sessions will continue to go on. We will continue to meet on a monthly basis. When I reflect upon my project, there are some things that I will change, and there are some things that I will leave the same. One thing that I would change is I will open the parameters of my project to not just single women or single female parents, but I will open it out to any woman who would like to be a part of this group circle. They may be able to provide more understanding, more clarity to the women who are single, who are raising their families alone. One thing that I would like to also improve on is the amount of people that attend. My sessions ranged in number from about 5 to 10, but I would like to see that number get larger. So I will go forth and still promote more advertisement, go around, maybe carry my group around to different locations so that I can bring in more women into the circle. I really enjoyed working with them. Like I said, I'm going to continue working with this group, and I will also find something for the children. A lot of the parents are single and don't have anyone to watch their children. Therefore, from now on, when we have group sessions, I'll make sure to plan activities and someone to watch the children while we're in session so that the parents will feel more comfortable in those sessions. So I really enjoyed this. I would like to take this time to thank Dr. Melva Sampson. I would like to take this time to thank Dr. McIntyre and Reverend Rayford for everything that you have done to support and help me throughout this semester. Thank you.